heading back with chapter 35 of Genesis. It talks about this. It says, God blesses their names Jacob. God said to Jacob, arise and go up to Bethel and dwell there. Make an altar there to the God who appeared to you, who is of course Christ. When you fled from your brother Esau. So Jacob said to his household, to all who were with him, put away the foreign gods, of course God's plural form, that would be demonic idols, that are among you, and purify yourselves and change your garments. Then let us arise and go up to Bethel, so that I may make there an altar to God, who answers me in the day of my distress, and has been with me wherever I have gone. So they gave to Jacob all the foreign gods, or basically demonic idols that they had, and the rings that were in their ears. Jacob hid them under the terebinth tree that was near Shechem. And as they journeyed, a terror from God fell upon the cities that were around them, so that they did not pursue the sons of Jacob. And Jacob came to Luz, that is Bethel, which is in the land of Canaan, which is Israel today, of course, he and all the people who were with him. And there he built an altar and called the place El Bethel, because there a God had revealed himself to him when he fled from his brother. And Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died, and she was buried under an oak below Bethel, so he called its name Elon Bakoth. God appeared to Jacob again when he came from Paddan Aram and blessed him, and God said to him, your name is Jacob. No longer shall your name be called Jacob, but Israel shall be your name. So he called his name Israel. And God said to him, I am God Almighty, who is of course Jesus Christ, the one true God. Be fruitful, multiply. Nation and a company of nations shall come from you, and kings shall come from your own body. The land that I gave to Abraham and Isaac I will give to you, and I will give the land to your offspring after you. Now this goes back to what I was saying in the past couple of videos that I made. Abraham's the father of all nations, as we all know that. Isaac, that's where the Jews came out of, or the Jews came out of Isaac, the Muslims came out of Ishmael. And of course, Jacob is named Israel. Now let's go back. Abraham is the father of all nations. Isaac is where the Jews came out of. Jacob is renamed Israel. The Jews take over Israel, hence why the land belongs to Israel. It's very interesting. Anyway, let's see where I left off at. It says, then God went up from him in the place where he had spoken with him, and Jacob set up a pillar in the place where he had spoken with him, a pillar of stone. He poured out a drink offering on it and poured oil on it. So Jacob called the name of that place where God had spoken with him Bethel. The deaths of Rachel and Isaac. When they journeyed from Bethel, when they were still some distance from Ephrath, Rachel went to labor, and she had hard labor. And when her labor was at its hardest, the midwife said to her, do not fear, for you have another son. And as her soul was departing, for she was dying, she called his name Ben-Onai, but his father called him Benjamin. He was also the 12 tribes of Benjamin. So Rachel died. So Rachel died, and she was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem today. Of course, the 12 tribes came out of Jacob, or Israel, because he had 12 sons. It's very interesting. And Jacob set up a pillar over the tomb, or over her tomb, is the pillar of Rachel's tomb, which is there to this day. So of course, it's still there to this day. Israel journeyed on and pitched his tent beyond the tower of Endor. While Israel lived in that land, Reuben went and laid with Bilhah, his father's concubine or wives, and Israel heard of it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12. The sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel, Joseph, and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rachel's servant, Dan and Naphtali. The sons of Zilpah, Leah's servant, Gad and Asher. These were the sons of Jacob who were born to him in Paddan Aram. Like I said, the 12 tribes came from Jacob, or Israel. So I made up Israel at the time of this, or during the 12 tribes of Israel. And Jacob came to his father Isaac at Mamre, or Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, which is in the west bank today of the Palestinian Authority, where Abraham and Isaac had sojourned. Now the days of Isaac were 180 years, and Isaac breathed his last, and he died, and was gathered to his people, old and full of days. And his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. So, like I said, very interesting. Abraham's father of all nations. The Jews came out of Isaac. Muslims came out of Ishmael. Of course, out of Isaac came the Jews, which became, and then Jacob is renamed Israel. The Jews take over Israel, so hence when we have Israel today. And of course you had the 12 tribes that came out of Jacob, or Israel, which made up the 12 tribes of Israel. It's very interesting how that all happens. So anyway, next is chapter 36, so be right back.